Hi, welcome to KC Talks. In the last podcast with Dr. Sahadev Swami, he told us that there is a problem with free mixing, and I have a doubt regarding that. Free mixing is not seen as any problem in the modern civilization, and we see co-education existing everywhere. Not only that, I have a particular question to ask that, when I met my nephew and niece recently, they all have boyfriends at their 10th class, plus 1 and plus 2. So let us understand from Swamiji whether it is good, bad, or what. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So you spoke in the last podcast about free mixing. That's, according to us, it makes really, sorry to say that, but no sense because there is free mixing everywhere in the world. But my question, particularly in this regard is, if at all we make a boyfriend or a girlfriend in our teens, is it a problem?
It could be a big problem
Mm-hmm.
because if there is intimacy,
Mm-hmm.
generally any premarital relationship
Okay.
has many complications.
Okay.
There are unwanted pregnancies, could be. There
Okay.
could be lack of support from parent side. There could be depression, substance abuse,
Mm-hmm.
even suicides, even crimes.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of complications attached to it.
Okay. But to tell you very specifically, Swamiji, these kids are very well educated about the sex education. So they know how to use protected sex, they know how to, not get into complications. But what does it play from a cultural fabric and from an emotional, psychological scenario? How does it affect a human mind and the society at large?
I strongly disagree that people are educated. Actually, the sex education means how to stop it, how to control your mind and senses. That is education. How to do it, you don't require education because
Okay.
cats, dogs, monkey, donkey, hogs, dogs, everybody is doing it without your so-called sex education.
Yeah.
So this is a complete misnomer. Sex education is there in Vedic era also. It's called Brahmacharya Gurukule Vasandanto Gurorhitam. It's how to control senses and mind. How to sublimate, how to control and sublimate sex desire. That is sex education.
Okay.
How to channelize our energies into higher dimensions. That is sex education.
Okay.
How to do it safely and how to do it nicely. That's not sex education because nobody needs, like a child does not need to be trained how to eat. I mean, first thing they like to put in mouth, everybody knows. So it's all there, you don't need education. So there is this is not correct that people are educated. Then why there is so much of mess around? Because these things are highly complicated. As soon as a teen boy and girl are together, things can get very complicated. So many suicide. The other day, in Gujarat, two girls committed suicide. Then two boyfriends also hanged from the same tree. So many complications are happening, and all this can be avoided by reorganizing the society, on saner principles.
Okay. Swamiji, these are very extreme cases wherein suicide comes into the picture, or probably, single parent, or or a pregnancy. All this, I'm speaking about the modern scenario of a cosmopolitan setup. So where mixing is not seen a problem, and then it's basic instincts. So wherein people get close and they have fun. So they are calling it as fun. They are not calling it as sex anymore. Okay, can we have fun? That is it's understood what they mean by that. So how does it? Okay, so if suicide is ruled off, pregnancy is ruled off, what else can it impact on the teen's mind?
Why we see, like in where their data are available, like US, more than 50% of the population, they contact one STD, STI, sexually transmitted infection, at least once in their lifetime.
Okay.
So the point is, there is much more to the story than, so-called fun. This fun is exactly like, the fish. Fish is the worm, does not see the bait attached.
Yeah.
So fish is the fun, but then it gets hooked up. Then it's taken out and sometime roasted alive. So this is exactly what this fun is. It has got a bait.
Okay.
How many are languishing in prisons now on the charges of whatever, and trumped up charges, genuine charges. On one hand you are promoting promiscuity actively. On the other hand, you have rightly very stringent laws to protect women. Even so much so, as per Kerala High Court, staring more than 16 seconds, staring at a woman is criminal.
Okay.
So point is that there are inherent contradictions. So that so society, in order to have peace, in order to progress, first thing is required is peace. And peace requires our youngsters to be situated properly. And sex desire is like fire. Fire is needed. You see, all living beings, right from a mosquito to an elephant, they have these urges to mate, because that's a mechanism, nature's mechanism, so that the species can be propagated, species can go on, But it has to be channelized. So in human, because we have higher intelligence, we have misused these faculties.
Okay.
So we are not, so fire, you need fire. My point is to cook, to heat, but it doesn't mean you just set fire to the whole house. You need salt, don't you?
Yes, we need salt.
Without salt, no dish will work. But just because salt is available, let's pour salt. So some sense gratification is required, because senses are there, they need to be gratified, but there has to be regulation. Today the problem is we don't know where to stop.
Okay.
We don't know that somebody is eating, people are eating like there is no restriction. Middle of the night, result is nations obesity, national people are diseased. Sleeping, they'll sleep midnight and wake up and next afternoon. So there are human societies meant to have. Okay, so there is system. That is why regulation. Okay, a boy needs a girl needs a boy. So every human society had system of getting them married, respectfully, nicely, peacefully, and that way they can progress. In unregulated enjoyment, there is no, just like traffic. You got to drive, everybody got to drive. So unless you have got red lights, green lights and regulation, how do you do that? So same way today the problem is society is unregulated. Everybody is doing what they like, and result is total chaos, emotional trauma,
Okay.
There is so much of mental health deterioration in the teens today, behavioral disorders, and it's scary for any parent today. It's bringing up parenting is a very big challenge in 21st century.
Definitely yes, because children stop listening them, hearing them in any scenario, in every scenario.
Right.
So your strong recommendation is in teens you should not have this girlfriends and boyfriends concept.
This concept actually in civilized societies did not exist, because your union of the opposite sexes was allowed traditionally only after marriage,
Hmm.
because this is very taxing even on the physical system, your physics.
Hmm.
It's very taxing.
Okay.
Like they say this, they propagate sex as the panacea for all your health problems, financial problem, mental problems, job problems.
Hmm.
They even say that. I have those during my research. I've saved those. Even those who indulge daily in sexual affairs, they have less job problem. For any problem you go, they say is actually it's not like that.
Okay.
Sex actually has a big toll on your physical health and mental health. It burdens your nervous system, and that is why celibacy was recommended for those who are not actually wanting to get into household life. They can, so this all, there is so much of propaganda is there to mislead the masses. That's a corporate agenda. That's a vested interest have misled. And our whole generation we have actually thrown into the oven of this sexual revolution.
Hmm.
This revolution has consumed an entire generation, in fact. And that is why you see the problem is those Western great civilized countries they built up, their youth are unable to maintain those countries. Expats are running. You go to European, in London or New York, every dentist you find, every doctor, every CEO you find, expats are running.
Yeah.
Because those expats come from, they didn't have so much freedom in their teenager years.
Yeah.
They came from organized, they came from familial, they had a family,
Hmm.
restrictions. So children have to be controlled, children have to be guided properly, and faculties have to be, once you get, because your first encounters, the sexual encounters, they leave very deep impressions on the psyche.
Hmm.
And there are so many studies, if those who had premarital encounters, how their divorce chances are, they increase 400-500%. They will not have, so all these studies exist. So therefore, until the age of marriageable age, there should be restriction, there should be regulation, there should be proper guidance. Character is the foundation for any successful life.
Done. Thank you so much for your beautiful spiritual insight. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.